Perfect. All right. So today is March's monthly meeting, Tuesday, March 25th. I have an agenda for the day, so we're going to review activities from the last month. How do you all feel about the new alert system? An update on the pre-processing manual, an update on KNC utilities like YouTube and Forge, update on some of the social media posts. We have an update on the monthly photo challenges because we had a few submissions, the topics that you guys have submitted for, and then there was going to be a short presentation by Thierry, but he's not here today. That'll be postponed for the next meeting. All right, so Damian's not here. Okay, so what did you all think about the alert system with, you guys are getting you have a dedicated channel for GRB alerts and for gravitational wave alerts, and then you have a, we will put those messages into the observations channel so you guys can respond in a single thread. How did you all feel about that this month? Do you have any feedback or recommendations? Okay, and says he likes it. Wonderful. I'm glad. I
have a question on that.
Yeah.
So you put out a GRB alert. Are these the ones that you automatically want to follow up on, or like before it was kind of like their GRB alerts would come out, but not necessarily, you wouldn't necessarily follow up on all of them. So how's that?
The GRB alerts that come in are from Swift, and most of the time Grandma always follows up on Swift alerts. That is unless the Swift alert has an extreme distance or poor localization. So we usually look within a few arc seconds. And I believe that all the Swift alerts that have been ingested thus far have been within a few arc seconds to view. So yes, follow up on them or pay attention to them. But if you're not sure, I will make sure to be following up more closely to that, because I believe that these are ones that you guys can follow up on reliably. So I know that this is just launched and Damian is still working on it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think the last two that have come out. So I guess I kind of look at the KNC website to see if Damien's actually has put it in there, and
So before there was really no organization for it, and now there is more organization for it. But I am not sure if we have completely parameterized what we're following up on, because Grandma hasn't. So the observing strategy for GRBs is still relatively open. And so obviously that extends to KNC as well. So there should not be, from what Damien said, you should not be getting GRB alerts that you cannot follow up on.
Okay, yeah, it seems to work well otherwise, I think, so.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you. Appreciate that question. It's a very good question. And yes, that is something that I will be, I'm working on with the core team and Grandma, and obviously we'll extend here. Any other comments? Okay, on to the next thing. Alrighty, so this month was spent, thank you, Mark and Mike, for submitting your materials. It was a great insight into how astronomy works for citizen scientists or people with personal telescopes. I learned a lot and was able to build or write this manual because of this. And so it's now a formal website. Just like the Grandma's Cookbook, we have one for KNC now. I will be adding, it is not complete, I will be adding the stuff that we have on the KNC website, as well as some more examples, but Marco and Mike, your stuff is on here. So we have Mark's workflow, which is a document he submitted with his descriptors, his examples, all wonderful stuff. For any new incoming or people who want to familiarize themselves with different software, you guys can read through it here. Mike, your stuff is up here as well. I believe Mark Snow is babysitting right now, but if you have any comments or anything you want to talk about, anything you want me to add for your stuff, feel free to let me know. I did upload your video to YouTube that you had attached to the presentation you sent me. It's unlisted now, so only people with the link can see it. But if you want me to make it public or completely take it off YouTube, please feel free to let me know. But this way that people who come here, they can have access to it readily. And I will be putting this document onto a Google Doc so that the entire collaboration can read through it and leave comments in specific spots, like, hey, clarify this, or hey, this isn't exactly right, or oh, you could add this information here for clarity's sake, which is obviously very helpful because I'm an astrophysicist. I do not do astronomy like this, or I have not used this software before. So the insight from you all will be very, very helpful. All right, I
This
discussed
seems to be
also.
really well done. Congrats to the team.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to read that.
Well, you have to. That was the first time I tried making a video, so I'm sure it's not perfect. Just
It
bear
was
with
great. I
What's
was
that?
able to get transcripts off of it, so it was very clear actually.
Okay.
I felt
Thank-
confidence to use ASAP if I wanted to coming out of it, you know.
I like the topics that are there. I think that is really what we need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, this was definitely, I had a discussion with the library telescope, the leader of the library telescope programs for NASA, and with dark sky project leaders about how to connect or build an intuition for citizen scientists who want to become astronomers, and how to help them understand the difference between the images you take with your phone and the images you take with a telescope. And how do we get science from those images? Why are they different? So I made sure to add that in there in case somebody is really, really new to all these topics and they're joining KMC, because we don't want to lose those people. Those people are very, very much kind of who we want to grab in and say, hey, look what you got here. And so I also created the astronomer's workflow diagram. This was taking in a lot of the research I did. Again, Mark Freeberg, thank you so much for your input and the stuff you provided. It really helped to put everything in perspective. If there are astronomers here who don't agree with this, you can let me know, like, hey, maybe you got something mixed up. This is how I usually do things on my end with when going through images that I've taken. So obviously I love feedback. I also go over preparing raw data. So how do you file naming conventions, what FITS files are, and the importance of the metadata or the headers in there, what it is. Just trying to help people who are new to this project and astronomy itself kind of build their confidence. How to clean raw images or just science images, the use of calibration frames. Mike, the blurb you wrote on your presentation was very, very helpful for me to kind of go in and look at different research topics about this and understand what these different frames are. Really great way, really helpful way to translate it for people who are coming in new. So I write about bias frames, dark frames, calibration frames in general, what they are, the difference between a single dark frame and like master dark frames. I did different workflows for this. I also showed the math, like how does this actually work? And then, little warnings about being consistent, and then how to avoid, contaminating your images by using, false frames. So sorting and stuff like that. Definitely heeded a lot of warnings from everybody's documents. I talked about stacking, signal versus noise, the significance of stacking, in case somebody didn't know what that was. Kind of put it into perspective here with a table. And then, of course, I included the different tools that I've researched about. I have not added the astrometry section yet. That is going to be the next step. And then I showed you guys the ones done by your fellow KMC members. So that's what I have thus far. Obviously, what is a kilonova? Where do they come from? Talk about the general coordinates network. And I'll be adding more stuff like what is kilonova capture, what are fast transients, maybe a little more about the physics, our process, stuff like that. Whatever you guys recommend. Once I have this document copied to a Google Doc, I will send it out, send you guys some more information about it and how to leave comments, what I would like to see. But thank you all for your input and for everybody's ability to communicate. I really, really appreciate that.
In terms of processing software, I don't see any mention of PixInsight in there. I know this is what astrophotographers use. It may or may not be appropriate in the context of science images, but I just wonder if it would be pertinent to add anything about PixInsight. If there is,
So,
I can volunteer for some stuff if you want.
so it's
If
briefly
not,
mentioned by Mike Freeberg, and I would love for you to contribute for PixInsight. Any tools that you feel are useful for an astronomer, anything really, I would be happy to add it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
PixInsight would be a good one to add because I also use that for the calibration and of the images. So I think it's important. It's used quite a bit out there, and I think as far as the calibration part of it, it would work fine for the photometry. You can't really do photometry on PixInsight that I'm aware of. But as far as calibration, yeah, I think that'd be a good one to add.
It's
Sorry.
it's quite expensive though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
more expensive, and it's got a fairly steep learning curve. I guess I don't know what the cost of it is right now.
I'm taking it from the standpoint of somebody who's already doing astrophotography and already owns PixInsight.
Yeah.
Somebody like me who's more into picture taking and not really into science and wants to move into science already has the software, so why not use it?
Yeah, I was thinking about something more like Serial or what, however that is pronounced, and which is also like has a command line interface, so you could script it. I mean, yeah, one can mention many, of course, but yeah, I guess we don't want to just mention PixInsight because it's so expensive and might be so frightening to newcomers, I guess.
Yeah, the thing about PixInsight, I mean, there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube and everything, and so I mean, like Adam Block has a whole thing on using PixInsight for processing images, and it's more geared towards astrophotography. But I think if you just did the calibration with your darks and flats and all that is probably what it would be used more for here, I guess.
I think the price is somewhere around 300 euros.
Yes, it's exactly 300 euros, but that's for lifetime, and you get all the updates for a lifetime.
Yes, absolutely. I think one great benefit from PixInsight is that it's fully multi-threaded. So if you have a CPU with quite a lot of processors and threads, then your work will be resolved faster. I don't think, for instance, Cyril is multi-threaded.
Man, I think your mic is like echoing very badly.
Okay, I will change the microphone.
Denise, you were saying? Okay, we are waiting for, yeah, so I did leave a comment in the chat saying that I'm obviously not going to write about every single software that's out there, but we could create a general list with like pros and cons so that anybody who's incoming can ask the collaboration, say, hey, what do you guys think of these different, which ones do you recommend? But at least that information is there. That's readily available for them. And then the ones that we do use, we can recommend to others. Yeah, then Ian leaves a comment in the chat saying, so 300 euros for PixInsight, and you get all the function updates as far as I understood. Yes. All right. So I will also include that in the email as well so we can have that part of the document, so an ongoing list of software. Okay. All right, so we have a lot of links. Oh, another message. Astro Imagine J. Okay. Yeah, that'd be good to add to that list. Open up for just a pencil. Cool. It's also important to know the reliability of these before we, oh, and very well, good. Oh no, okay.
Christina, can you hear me?
Perfectly, yeah. When you tried to speak earlier, it was like a screech or it was echoing really badly.
Yeah, and same as Denis, the sound, I could not hear you then after, so I don't know what happened with Zoom, but okay.
That's odd. Okay. Let me know if that happens again, Damien, and I can see about reconnecting my headphones. Is that happening for everybody else, or was it just Dennis and Damien?
Only about 2, I think.
Okay. Right. All right, great. So Prism, Astro Imagine J, we have an ongoing list, and we can add to it. Thank you guys. Wonderful. All right, so we have a lot of links and now more documents floating around. I also kind of wanted you guys to have a place to centralize yourself for anything you need for Kilonova Capture besides Slack or myself. And so I updated Kilonova Capture's Forge page. So we have the central wiki is just so KNC websites. We have the photo challenge form, the topic request form. We have the playlist for the monthly recording meetings. Also another one of utilities for Kilonova Capture. And so there's 2 playlists here. We have the playlist for the monthly meetings when it loads. So we have the history of monthly meetings within Kilonova Capture, and then we also have the playlist for the webinars, which has only been 2 recordings thus far. There will be more recordings in the future and ongoing. So see here, both of these were recorded, Andrew's and Shar's, and they're up here for you guys to pursue at your own leisure. Right, so what else is on the wiki page? Yes.
I said you've been busy. It looks good.
Thank you. Yes. So we also have general Slack invites in case any of you bring a friend in or somebody else is interested. There's a standing Slack invite that should work in perpetuity. If it stops working, please let me know, but I'll check it. I'm doing frequently. We also have monthly meeting and minutes. So starting from 2024, December's meeting, I will put the agenda here, the minutes, so anything that was discussed or follow-up or decisions that were made during the meeting or things that you asked about that I was going to get back to you, we have the minutes here. Same thing for the January meeting. Obviously, these are expanding more and more as Kilonova Capture got jump started. And then so we have separated the webinars from the monthly meetings. So for example, February 25th, Andrew presented. I do reference, okay, hey, this was one meeting, but I'm going to separate all the webinar information from the monthly meeting information just to kind of keep things, short, sweet, right in your face. And then attached to all of the monthly meeting or webinars is the meeting presentation, so you guys can reference it for future if there's anything you're interested in on it, any information. All right, so again, agenda, and then any new updates. So like we decided here, we're going to have a new Slack feature, why we did it, and then any other updates are ongoing. That way I can track like progress and any other notes. And then this one's empty. This will be done afterwards.
Sorry,
Right,
Christina,
have...
maybe I missed it. It will be accessible through the portal, through the Kilonova Catcher portal, this wiki. How do?
No, it's a separate website. You guys should be able to access it. I can put in here. I will have to add you though if you're not already attached. I know that our longstanding users were integrated into this early on, but the new ones may not be. So you would make an account on Forge. You would put my email into it when you would ask for it, and then I would just add you here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
If we run into any issues with that, I will use something else. This is what we use for grandma. This is what was recommended for me to use. So if there are any issues with this, I can redo this. So no issue. All right, same thing with the webinars. I'll have where the recording was attached the slides are attached, and then a description of the speaker, as well as their presentation slide in the wiki. Then
I can access it now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So give me a moment. I am doing meeting notes as well as hosting. So got to write down the request on the input out.
So Christina?
Yeah.
So for this wiki, I think it would be great to have this link also in the header of one of the main Slack channel. I don't know where. To pin it in some header of a channel, and there is a way to. So as you know that the website is not totally wonderful, I would say, but there is a way to add this the link to this wiki page on the FAQ page of the website. It's possible to do it. I can do it. I have access to this. If you want me to also add this link.
I have access to the grandma page for admin rights, like to update the grandma website. But I don't know if I have it on the Kilonova Catcher website. I think we discussed it. Like I have some rights, but not all of them. Let me try again, and then if I can't get to it, then I'll ask you to walk me through it. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, wonderful. Where was I? And so also the documents that Mike and Mark provided are also attached here. Mike, I edited your presentation because it was too large to upload here. So right now what we see with it, wrong one. So I just have like a link to where your YouTube video is instead. That way it was able to be uploaded here.
Okay, that's
And then, okay. And then we have also on the wiki, we have the papers that where Kilonova captured data has been featured. So we have a 2024 supernova papers here. So the grandma note and then the long paper as well. And then when you click on these links, it has the full title, the abstract, the link to the site, and then who was involved. And so I led the notes for the paper, and you have a PDF version of it here. And then for the long paper, we have, who also led it and with which collaborations, as well as the abstract. So you guys can access it at all times and file. And then we also have 2025 papers because Marion just released this one. All right, we're still waiting for it to go through final revisions. Okay. So this month was busy. Unfortunately, we didn't get out a lot of GCNs on it. The GRB 250221A paper from or GCN or the follow-up that you guys did is still under review for paper. Marianne published her limits on the ejecta mass paper this month as well, and we follow up with a few different things. I thought this one was pretty interesting. I know Damien sent a message about it, and I'm hoping that we have a little bit more things to follow up this month before LIGO and Virgo shut down for 2 months. So good job, everybody. I really like that everybody followed up within those threads and kept it neat and tidy. I like the activity and the quick response. You guys do so well. All right, topic request. So there was, got a message. Topic request. A few of you did submit some stuff here. One about the Einstein telescope, questions about seeing objects on Fink and mangrove, what to expect from you guys. And then Damian is here to answer a few of these questions. So for the Einstein telescope part, I can bring in somebody to talk about it. I can also send out a little email about that, the information about it. If whoever posted the Einstein telescope one, if you could like kind of narrow down what you would like to see, if you would like a presentation or just to facilitate some more learning about how to follow up with those events, I can do that. I can add the more explanations and examples for technical areas with Stallone filters to the manual. That's really helpful. Thank you. And yes, I will leave Damien to respond to the first and the third one.
Yes, so thank you, Krishna. So I can try to answer the first question about faint object, whether it's worth it to post to transfer the images into our cloud. And if I understand well, so whether we have no detection, if it seems to be still useful to report in GCN. So maybe the first question, I think it's non-detection. I think it's always good for us to have your images in our servers, because we can, even if the source is not detected, we can at least analyze your image, see if it fits very well the let's say scientific output we expect from your pre-processing. And also we can also estimate the limiting magnitude you obtain with such exposure time, etc., etc. I plan, it's a plan, it's not a promise, but it's a plan to make kind of general paper about Kilonova catcher, to have a reference paper for all of us to be cited. And in this paper, I would like to, for example, show to the scientific community the limiting magnitude we can have with such exposure in different filters, etc., etc. So having a pool of images, even if the sources were not detected and we don't use those images for science, let's say, I believe we can still use these images for this general paper for Kilonova catcher and to assess the different performances of the community. So to me, it's still worth it for you to transfer your images, even if there is no detection. However, this is the second point. If you do not detect the source, it's fine. It's the game of transient sky, and usually for most of the fast transient, such as gamma ray bursts, it's hard to catch the optical counterpart. So the thing is that, well, let's say in the professional world, when we have no detection, we estimate an upper limit. And if this upper limit is not constraining at all, we usually do not send any report on GCN circulars. Well, this is at least the philosophy, I think, of Grandma now, and this is the philosophy of many collaborations, to not, let's say, overload the GCN circular, let's say, flow of circulars by putting non-constraining upper limits. I believe that it doesn't sound good for you because you made a lot of effort to get images, to stack them, and to see that you do not detect, but still you have spent a lot of hours in observing. So in this case, maybe what we could do, so usually what we did before, we sent GCN circulars both with Grandma observations and Kilonova catcher observations. And what was the policy of Grandma? It was for GCN circulars is to send more or less one epoch of observation per telescope. So for example, one observation from Taro, one observation from Fram, and one or two observations per KNC astronomers. It has not been the rule actually respected so far, but this was the philosophy. So I believe what we can do is to maybe, but this has to be discussed with Grandma and also among us, but maybe we could send our own Kilonova Catcher GCNs. This would be perfectly okay for the scientific community to see that, okay, sometimes we do not detect the sources and while the upper limits are not so constraining, but at least it shows that there is an amateur community that brings a lot of effort to this field, and we can count on them, and so it's kind of important. But I believe this would be only one GCN circular listing not all of our observations, but at least one data point per observer. This is, I think, at least something we can do.
I think
To be discussed, of course.
I think with Grandma that when we do observations, that the GCNs would be several telescopes within the network.
Yes, so it would be the same for us.
Yeah.
Imagine if we have 10 astronomers that have taken 10 images, let's say, or even more, 20 images, we would only put maybe the 10 points for 10 different astronomers.
Yeah.
And in this way,
it'd be really good. But
yeah, in this way, I just wanted to finish that in this way, we reward the observation effort made by everybody in one single GCN, because I don't, well, this is my wish, but I don't want that we publish 10 GCN per for 10 observers, like one GCN per observers, because it's going to be to overload a lot the GCN flow, and it's going to be not very good advertised for us. But if we show that we have in one GCN 10 observations in different filters with different people, I think it's good.
Yeah, publishing GCNs as a group will present a well-orchestrated and well-organized citizen science project, and also it shows that we're working together, which is really important. So and it's also, that's why, say, hey, we're not only making observations, we're also working together to, okay, I detected it at this magnitude, I detected it at this magnitude. Okay, so we're going to refine and keep looking. That'll get obviously a lot of attention on KMC, because when I did present at NASA, Damien, I referenced the Kilonova Catcher GCNs, and they were very impressed that Kilonova Catcher and Grandma were organized to such an extent that we could do that, and that the data was similar along the same lines, that we were detecting very similar magnitudes. And so they were quite impressed with that. They liked the fact that we were publishing together, not only Kilonova Catcher as an individual group, but also with Grandma. They were very, very, very impressed by that. They made 3 remarks on that on separate occasions, different individuals. So yes, releasing as a group is the intention. Good, I'm glad I like that. And then we regularly see objects popping up on channels Fink, KNLC, and Mangrove. What is expected from us?
So maybe I can answer also. So currently nothing, I would say. Actually, these channels, Fink and LC, are old channels we wanted to use to forward to all of you fast transient identified by Fink, the Fink broker, which is one of the official LSST broker, using the public ZTF alert stream. But currently, we never really let's say, worked on interfacing this alert stream with the KNC alert system. So this is something we have to, I think, update and work on it because LSST is going to arrive soon this year, at least the first light. Maybe not the first alert will not be all reliable, but I think we have to rework again with the Fink broker to broadcast to all of you some interesting optical transient alerts. So I'm not sure if this channel Finken, LC, and Mangrove will survive, or if we are going to create new channels. but this is something we have to update and we have to discuss, I think, in another meeting. But currently, you can mute. I would say that you can mute these channels.
Thank you, Damien, for the answer.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. And Roger, really appreciate that. Excuse me. Okay. So what is next on the list? Okay. So Mike's not here to talk about his image, but I will highlight it here. I will give him time next meeting to go over it along with the other individual who posted, who submitted. These are really cool images. I love seeing them. Please feel free to post your images. They make this photo challenges a lot more interesting, and these must be meetings. We get to see something really cool. So he says that this night was clear but windy over Haute-Provence, where his observing setup is located. The object is AT 2025 DKP, a nova discovered by K. Hornock. He says that he took the photo thinking to see DIH, but it was already too faint. He wishes that there will be another nova visible on the same field soon. And he said the magnitude of this nova was in G 19.4 magnitude. So I think this is a really cool image. You get to see the nova. All right, so that has us arrive to the meeting end, roughly. So these images are ongoing, being posted on social media. It's really cool. Roger Menard, he has a Instagram account, so able to create like a collaboration when I post one of his images, which I really like. So if you guys have Instagram, but haven't followed the Kilonova Catcher website, you're posting images, please make sure to, so that I can, collaborate with you. If you guys don't know what that is, it shows that, oh, Kilonova Catcher and Roger, we posted together. And it's a great way to advertise for Kilonova Catcher and for your guys' work and contributions. Okay, so ongoing announcements and updates over the next couple months. So over April, I'm going to finish the K&C manual. I will make sure to update about the GRB observing strategy as well, where that's going for us. I know that there were a few questions about the alert system. I am filling out the speaker manual, the speaker doodle for us. We will have a presentation on the paper I presented from Marianne for the next webinar on April 8th. The pre-processing manual should be at least somewhat finished within the next 2 weeks. I have finalized our meeting dates. So the second Tuesday and the last Tuesday of the month are going to be the webinar and the meeting days. So the second Tuesday of April is going to be the webinar, and the last Tuesday is going to be a meeting day. I will find somebody to do an Einstein Pro presentation. If there's something you specifically want to know, please let me know so I can ask them so they can design their presentation with that included. And then I'm ongoing building collaboration between telescope societies and K&C, especially with this manual. A few of them have taken a great interest in it. So I hope to have some more advertisements, have some more info for you guys soon. I will be presenting K&C to 3 astronomical societies this month, one of them being an astronomical and telescope society. So that's very cool. Thank you all. Any questions, feedback, comments before we end the meeting?
A couple of pages back that on the other topics, there is something on Sloan filters on the bottom.
Yes.
So is that something that's going to be discussed in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just wondering about that because I think some are using some different filters now, some Gaia filters, I believe. So, okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, and if you guys also have any questions or thoughts, you can submit it to the topic request form. You can just email me or DM me on Slack directly. These are things I will talk with Damien about and include in my work.
I'm not sure to fully capture the question asked in this last sentence about Sloan filters. Is this the way you want us to provide explanation and examples of how these Sloan filters are used in our research fields, or is it more technical? I'm not sure to understand. Yeah, anyway, we will see. And this is something we have to keep in mind.
Thanks, yes.
I think you can talk, Ansbert.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to make a short shameless plug for a call for collaborators and beta testers for a little mini project I have about transients. And because there are so many able amateur astronomers here, so I hope to have it ready in April, but I need people to test and improve it. I posted the GitHub URL in the chat. So the idea is to before you go to sleep, and you can still have your telescope out. And for this, I use a little robotic a smart telescope. You let this point at T Corona Borealis, which is expected to go nova soonish, and have a script in the background check whether it has gone in real time to nova. And if it has done so, it can react. Like in my case, it will turn the bedroom lights on and play an alarm sound to wake me up so that I can tell everybody else. And more importantly, also lower the gain of the camera so that it doesn't saturate. And I can keep valid recording valid images. So yeah, and for that, of course, you need only just small optics, because this is in quiescence. This is a 9 magnitude object. So if there are people who would like to try this and change it for their needs and be beta testers and use it to try to be the first to catch T Coronae Borealis in outbreak, you're welcome. Thank you.
If you use an API to connect it to like a home security system, you can have it to make all the alarms go off too.
Yeah, it will basically play a klaxon sound. I'm not sure it will wake me up, but it will wake up my cats, and then my cats will think it's morning and will wake me up, and then they know how to do that.
Could you send me a summary of the project so when I send the email out, I can include this, please?
Yeah, I think there's a README file on the GitHub.
Okay.
that you can paste. If you have any more questions, you can we can start a thread
I see it.
in Kilonova Catcher or something. So
Okay, I'll include this here.
okay, thanks.
Cool. Thank you. Awesome.
And Christina, is there a way for people to post on Slack, or I believe on Slack, these kind of announcements that are some projects, side projects? We maybe should create a channel for all of you so that you can
there is
post these
Kilonova Catcher
things.
News.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can post it there. They can post anything. Any news related to Kilonova Catcher or its members, you guys are free to post it there.
So don't hesitate to use this channel on Slack if you want to also promote some projects you are doing besides Kilonova Catcher that could interest others. So it's done for that also.
Yeah, if it becomes like a lot of just extra new stuff, or you can create a separate channel. But for now, it's fine to post it there.
Cool.
Wonderful. So glad to hear you guys are working on projects like this. It sounds fun. All right, any other commentary for the meeting? Going once? Twice? All right. Thank you, everybody, for a wonderful meeting. I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and I will hear from you as we get more and more detections. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Christina.